Thank you. Taoiseach, I welcome the ERSI conducting research on the economic and social opportunities from increased cooperation on the island, and I've read the scoping paper in detail, particularly the education section. We need to come away with clear implementable actions and timelines that can be taken to increase North-South cooperation on third-level education. We've been conducting reports and carrying out research on cross-border cooperation since the Williams report in 1985, yet we've seen very little progress, particularly in student mobility. Since the Good Friday Agreement in 1998, the cross-border enrolment of students in third level on this island has remained unacceptably low. It's actually declined in the last 10 years by 18%. In the North, students from the South accounts for around 4% of the total student population, while in the South, the North make up less than 1%. And we must ask why. It takes the same time to travel to Belfast from Mayo as it does to Dublin or Cork. We know many of the reasons: the difference in admission systems, the inequity between A-level and Leaving Cert grades, the lack of information for students and teachers, particularly around access and supports. So I hope that the ERSI will be instructed to lay out practical measures and actions that the government can take to end this situation. I firmly believe that if we invest in an all-island educational system, we will not only see the benefits in terms of educational attainment, but in creating an understanding of the many cultures and traditions across our island.
This covers Deputy Conway-Walsh in terms of the education, the ESRI research. Again, the ESRI research covers both cross-border trade and services on the island of Ireland, and the structure and composition of that cross-border trade. That's work that's underway. Then it's going to compare the primary healthcare systems of Ireland and Northern Ireland and draw out implications for policy. The SRI generally do the analysis, do the research, implications for policy formulation, and then decide. It's up to government then and other agencies to decide in terms of implementation. On education, the issue really is they're going to compare the patterns of educational participation and attainment in the two jurisdictions and assessing what lessons can be learned for the future. It is my view that one area that has not received the attention that it should have received over the last decade has been participation rates in third level from all communities, and particularly from socioeconomically disadvantaged communities in Northern Ireland, and the levels of second level completing secondary schools. And in some significant socioeconomic disadvantaged areas, the progression onto further education and onto third level has been far too low. And there needs to really be a very substantive programme developed by the two governments, in my view, with the Northern Ireland Executive, to deal once and for all comprehensively, and it'll take time, with the issue of educational disadvantage in the North. And some communities who had historically relied on traditional forms of employment, whether it's shipbuilding, textiles or whatever, they haven't quite made the same adjustment that has been made in other parts of the island in respect of areas that suffered similar adjustments in an earlier period, but managed to bring technology and other new industries in, but also developed educational opportunity. And I think that is very key, and I look forward to the ESI report in that regard. It's not so much saying, okay, can we create an all-island system? I mean, there's an education system within the North. I think we can seek greater complementarity. I've already, 7 or 8 years ago, put forward proposals around curriculum complementarity, for example, the English curriculum. History, can we develop shared narratives around history in certain history areas of study? And then also in terms of qualifications, which in terms of facilitating progression, North and South to various third level institutions. And I think that has worked over the years, that can be improved upon. Particularly given the changes this year in respect of admission to Scottish universities in third level and the costs that will now apply to Irish citizens in particular, there will be implications there for places here. But I think we're looking at potential tie-ups between colleges, North and South, and maybe institutions working together commonly on certain programs and projects, whether it's McGee and Letterkenny, and McGee and others, Queen's and others, and other institutions. And the ESRI is then looking at factors that could enhance the attractiveness of the island as a whole to high value foreign direct investment and identifying opportunities for greater cooperation and policy coordination. Now, as part of the Shared Island Fund, we are looking at funding and being part of the City Deals project, which is around investing in industrial parks, both on the Derry side and on the Donegal side, with a view to combining the various assets, be it the skilled labour force, the FDI attractiveness of the southern side. Can we develop more FDI jobs in the overall northwest region and look at it as a region? And can we be facilitative of that? And I think the investment in those parks will certainly be a very important development, and we look forward to the SRI's work in relation to that.